Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's November 26th, 2016. Since the Pizzagate story has broken, hundreds of people have asked me to make a video on it. I've replied to the majority of those requests, telling those people to watch my Wikileaks video. About a month ago, I put out my latest video on Wikileaks, again, repeating what I've been saying for the 3 years that I've been doing this work. WikiLeaks is not a credible source of information. It is controlled opposition. It is run by your government, just like Anonymous. Anonymous is not here for the truth. Anonymous is your government. WikiLeaks is your government. These things are created to pacify truth seekers, to mislead truth seekers, to deceive truth seekers, as the Pizzagate hoax is now doing. Pizzagate is a 100% hoax. There is nothing real about this story. It is a made-up distraction to take people's eye off the ball. Yes, sex trafficking is real. Child trafficking is real. Pedophilia rings are real. All of that is real. Pizzagate is a story that plays on that reality, but it's completely fictional. There's no evidence of anything that has happened, and when you think about it, it's just downright stupid. Do you think these people that run these child sex trafficking rings are really going to do this through a pizza joint in the middle of Washington, D.C.? This story, Pizzagate, it's also political. It's attaching the supposed sex crimes against children to Hillary Clinton, people in her entourage, whatever you want to say. It's named David Brock. If you don't know who David Brock is, he's a man who in the late 90s, early 2000s was part of the very conservative mainstream establishment, but then came out as being gay, and then after that came out speaking against the media, talking about how the media is corporate, biased, dishonest. I think David Brock now runs Media Matters, which is also very political and partisan. But anyway, this Pizzagate story is trying to make David Brock a monster, when in reality, David Brock, you could say, is in some ways, sort of a cultural hero. I mean, in the late 90s, early 2000s, when he came out with his book exposing the media, there wasn't a lot of work like that then. So I think part of the reason David Brock is being attacked is because, again, it's partisan, political. This story, it's focused on Hillary Clinton. It came out just after the election. Election in focus, Hillary Clinton in focus. Then all of a sudden, this bogus Pizzagate story connecting Hillary Clinton to a child sex trafficking ring. So again, this story, Pizzagate, is not real. You should have known that already if you follow my work, because the source is WikiLeaks. And again, WikiLeaks only leaks propaganda, lies, misinformation, disinfo. That's it. There's nothing else that comes from WikiLeaks. You don't see them leaking anything that helps any of us in any way. Think about all the lies of September 11th. Where's that information? Where's something of substance that matters? So let's look further at Pizzagate. Before we get to that, I want to show you this story that WikiLeaks leaked just before the Pizzagate story. This was November 5th, 2016, a few days before the election. Story came out, WikiLeaks, some document going back to 2001 showed that the Clintons were attached to this woman, Laura Silsby, who was the director of the New Life's Children's Refuge that was caught stealing 33 children supposedly out of Haiti. And when I saw this, I said, here we go again, the number 33. How many things is WikiLeaks going to leak condemning the Clintons with the number 33? From the 33,000 emails to the number of other stories where 33 was placed right in it. Clinton equals 33, federal 33, secrecy 33, masonry 33. The word believe equals 33. In made for media propaganda, the number 33 is often coded. And we're going to talk about how relevant 33 is to Pizzagate in just a second. The name Laura Silsby, the name mentioned in this story that has Gematria 40, like Hillary, like email, like her 33,000 emails. With regards to Haiti, it also has the Gematria 47, like agent, like president. This came just 3 days before the presidential election. So with regards to 33 in Pizzagate, check this out. Pizza equals 33. So does gate. Anytime you hear one of these gates in the media, one of these gate stories, you know it's propaganda. This is a common term they use for these stories that they cook up to steal people's attention, to divide them, to mislead them. All the gate stories over the years are bogus. Even the one about Richard Nixon, his whole resignation was by the numbers. Giant joke. For all of you who follow my work and have been asking me to research this and look into it, I'm just shrugging my shoulders going, have these people ran the Gematria on Pizzagate? Are they looking at the source, Wikileaks, which only leaks propaganda, which I've talked about for 3 years? Who else made this story big? Reddit. Another 33 website ran by the gang. Reddit's not a truth website. Reddit mocks the truth. Reddit makes fun of truth. Reddit makes stories that are completely bogus viral. I mean, Reddit, that's not a website that I recommend anyone follow. There's nothing truthful coming out of Reddit. You know, Reddit's part of the gang. Stealing people's attention with things that don't matter. Why doesn't Reddit make Gematria viral? You know, Gematria is relevant. Gematria is real. I've proven Gematria. How come none of these websites are getting people buzzing about Gematria? I mean, just thinking about a story like Pizzagate. Where are you going to go with Pizzagate anyway? What's Pizzagate lead to? Leads to nowhere. It's a black hole. Black hole 33. So it's all 33, like always with WikiLeaks. That's why they called this Pizzagate. Show you some more things about this restaurant they picked. Should mention this, that Pizzagate in English gematria also sums to 666. And again, child sex trafficking, that's real. Pedophilia rings, that's real. So this story plays on a real thing happening in this world, but it's not happening at Comet Pizza, and it's not happening through what's leaked thanks to WikiLeaks. Just as a reminder also, this, for a lot of people, you know, see, this is what people don't get. Well, I get it, and some of you get it, but a lot of people don't get. The truth community, if you look at who's in this truth community, it's very obvious that the majority of people in this are from a Christian background and a right-wing / Republican background in the United States. And that's why the truth community is targeted with so much divisive propaganda that plays to those cultural backgrounds. I mean, look at all the supposed truthers that were saying you needed to vote for Donald Trump and Donald Trump was going to turn the country around. I mean, it's absolute insanity. And all these people were led to believing things like that because of the information that was being presented to them, such as this, you know, the 33,000 emails, supposedly all these Clinton murders. Do you guys understand that the Clintons, Bill and Hillary, are nothing more than puppet stooges? They don't murder people. They don't do anything. They just go out and be the puppet stooges that we see in the political arena. You know, all these truthers, they're so caught up on how evil Hillary and Bill Clinton are, it's a joke. They're just puppets. They work for the gang. A lot of truthers have their head way up their ass and they need to pull it out. That's why they get so played so easily, you know? Just bring a story like this along, Pizzagate, and all of a sudden you got the whole truth community, you know, making all this viral content about, about nothing. About nothing. Comet Ping Pong Pizza is the name of the shop. It has gematria of 232 like Satan, 666, number of the beast, 232, Satan. I mean, this topic is talking about something evil, you know, raping children essentially. And that's also why they put it out there. It's an emotional topic. It grabs people's attention. People always get caught up on sex, you know. Typically it's sex affairs of adults, but, you know, there's a history of society being infatuated with the molestation of children. Remember the news about the Vatican and all the pedophilia? Those were some of the biggest, most viral news stories ever. You know, people went out and bought those magazines, those papers, watched that coverage on TV. The date of the election, November 8th, 2016, it was also a date with 55 numerology, another number for Satan. In English gematria, where you multiply 55 times 6, you get the number 330. Remember Marilyn Manson on November 8th released the song Say 10, where it shows someone who looks like Donald Trump being murdered, laying in a pool of blood, missing their head, and there's a 33 trickled in the blood. 33, Satan, 330 in English gematria. This article right here, they called the shop Chucky Sleaze. And remember, your media practices gematria. Chucky Sleaze, 119, like All-Seeing Eye, like Star of David, like Master Plan, like Donald, who was announced as the 45th president on November 9th, 11/9. Again, if you haven't seen that Serta mattress commercial from 2010, Donald Trump was talking to sheep, numbers 11 and 9, about being born for the job, about how they'll never count sheep again. Wearing the exact same suit, the exact same tie that he wore on election night. This whole Pizzagate, I guarantee you, is, again, meant to distract the truth community from what they should really be talking about, the staged, rigged election of Donald Trump, and instead, they're all falling for this fake narrative about Hillary Clinton's sex ring out of Comet Pizza. Donald Trump, so many of these people's hero, the people spreading these videos about Pizzagate. Donald Trump, meanwhile, probably is molesting children, you know? He's on the record saying he wanted to have sex with his own 13-year-old daughter. Said he was more sexually attracted to his own 13-year-old daughter than his wife at the time Ivanka was 13. And I mean, are you guys just thinking about how ridiculous this is? Do you think there's any women in the world that are running a child sex ring? I mean, come on, you guys. That word comet also has gematria of 188, which reminds me of the Bavarian Illuminati. That's the Masonic network that pretty much runs this world. Freemasons, Zionists, Jesuits, what the Bavarian Illuminati is. Established May 1st, 1776, just before the American Revolution. If you never read David Brock's book, they associated David Brock again with this Pizzagate thing. David Brock came out with this book in the beginning of the 2000s talking about how corrupt the media was. Once a columnist for major papers in the mainstream, he wrote this book outing how fraudulent the media is, talking about how the media is right-wing, military, corporate, which is all true. That is what the media really is, corporate, right-wing, military. You know, anyone who tells you the media is liberal, that's someone who doesn't have a clue. There is nothing liberal about the media. Ask a person who says that what the word liberal means. They probably don't even know what it means. There's no sign of liberalism anywhere in the United States. You know? So I think I've said about all I need to say. Pizzagate. This was a setup. This was a trap meant to dupe people. You see these latest headlines from the Washington Post. Pizzagate shows how fake news hurts real people. They're saying how all these people contributing to this viral content are smearing people's names with mistruths. And, you know, one of those names getting smeared is David Brock, who came out and explained exactly what the media is more than a decade ago. And I have a feeling that's part of the reason he got attached to this viral story. You know, a lot of people saying David Brock is a child molester. And I don't know David Brock, but I know his book that he put out in the early 2000s, and I know how important that book was at the time. So come on, people, wake up. Pizzagate, obviously a hoax. You should have known that. The gematria is in your face. Where it came from, Wikileaks, Reddit, not credible sites. I mean, all the signs are there. I don't know why anybody would fall for this.